Hi people, this is Abhijit again. Welcome to my latest video. This video will continue to cover the one eye width series. I have made a playlist called the one eye width, so anytime you want to come back and reference the series, just search for the playlist called one eye width. The reason for me making this series on the one eye width is I never found any grid out there that was accurate enough to make it easy to draw the face in a more accurate way. Most of them was general and vague, and for example, they say that the lips are 1/3, 2/3 the distance from the chin to the nose. And when you're drawing, it's difficult to focus on the 2/3 measurement, and it stresses you out a little bit. So I wanted a very accurate grid that made it easier to draw portraits. So that's the result of this series. That's the reason for this series. So last time I mentioned that I never found any face portrait grid that used the one eye as the width, but actually I had a book here, and this is a book. This is by Barrington Barber, and it's called Everyone Can Draw. Okay, and this is a beautiful book. So in this book, she gives in page number 276 or 679, she shows the face grid, and she uses the 7x5 grid, that is 7 eye widths height and 5 eye widths broad, and she gives a profile shot also, and the profile grid is 7x7. The height is 7 eye widths high and 7 eye widths broad. So there is actually books which use this technique, but let me come to this. So I have made a screenshot here of that page, and this is the one. So as you can see here, I'll just define this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So the top of the head is the 7th grid, 7th line, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 0. 1 and 0, however you want to count it. So everything, this grid is accurate, and you can use this grid to give you a more accurate picture. But the one thing I am not very satisfied with is the position of the eyebrows, because what I have found is that this eyebrow will line up with the 4th line. This is the 4th line. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The top of the eyebrows will line up with the 4th line only if the face is tilted downwards. Okay, but the way she has drawn the nostrils here, the face is vertical, in which case the eyebrows normally, what I found is above the 4th line. So this grid, I recommend people to use this grid because this is a more accurate one. So draw a 7x5 grid, and it's very easy. Place the eyes and place the base of the nose, place the bottom of the chin, bottom of the lips, and the chin over here, and you can get the portrait. Now this is the side one, and as you can see here, this is again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a square, and let's go back to this. Let's go back to the front one. As you can see, the grid, the 4th line is what shows the eyebrow position, and 3.5 is halfway between the 3rd and the 4th line is where the center of the eye line lies. So how you do this is you draw a grid 7 high and 5 wide, a grid 7x5 grid, and the center of that is 3.5 is where the eye line will lie, and this length from the center of the eyes to the base of the chin is exactly half of the head. There you go. See? Sorry, I had to hold the mobile in my left hand. So let me show it again. The center of the eye to the base of the chin, to the center of the eye to the top of the head. This is exactly half. So how you start is you draw a 7x5 grid, draw the center line, and you'll find that this is exactly half the head, and that's where the eye lies. Once you get the eye, you can get the rest of the thing very easily. And this is more accurate than any of the other grids that you see online or in books. I'll just explain this to you. I'll just show this to you why it's not accurate. See, the usual one that we find is this one. The 1/3 grid. So the 1/3 grid divides the face in a box and divides into 3 parts: 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. So the first 1/3 is the position of the chin and the base of the nose, the second 1/3 is the top of the eyebrows, and the third 1/3 is the top of the hairline. And I would guess maybe half of this would be the top of the skull, but even that is not accurate. It's left to you how high you want to draw it above that line based on your observances of the subject. And this line, this 1/3 line here in this sketch, it is shown as half the eyebrows. But I find it varying in many instances. For example, in this grid here, the eyebrows are within the 1/3 line. It doesn't go above the 1/3. So we have 1/3 from the base of the chin to the base of the nose to the top of the eyebrows, and the eyebrows are within this. And here you have the hairline. So 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. And it's left to you to figure out how high it goes above that. That's also very inaccurate. So this grid doesn't work. No, it doesn't work. It's not accurate. And here's one more. I show the same thing. 1/3 to the base of the nose, 1/3 to the eye line, 1/3 to the eyebrows, and here the eyebrows are shown above the 1/3 line, and then 1/3 to the hairline. So here you can see this, the eyebrows are above the 1/3 line, whereas in the next picture it is shown within the 1/3 line. So you'll find a lot of disparities in this grid. Here too it is shown above the 1/3 line. So this is not accurate. It's not good enough for our purposes to draw a sketch. So let me see. Yeah. So we'll come back to the Barrington-Barber grid, and here you can see the eyebrows is shown exactly on the number 4th line. All right. So now we will, and yeah, here's one more sketch who uses the one eye width, and in this sketch you have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 to the top of the head, and the eyebrows are shown again below the 4th line. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4th line, and here this artist has shown the eyebrows as below the eyeline. Again, is that confusing or what? And here this is even more this one different. You can see, I'll just count the lines, maybe you can't see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And he's given one more width for the top of the head. This is inaccurate. So he's used 8 eye widths high for the head, and 5, I guess 5, he's not shown the horizontal one, only the vertical one. So this is inaccurate. This is assuming that this distance is equal to the eye width, which I think it is. So this is 8 by 5, but this won't work. This makes the face very elongated. So you can see, this is from Pinterest, and you will find a lot of books giving different versions of the eye grid. Very confusing and not very accurate, but I like the Barrington-Barber's grid very much. This is the most accurate one, except the fact that the eyebrows do not lie on that line, the 4th line. So 1, 2, 3, 4. No, everything else is accurate in this grid except the eyebrow position. So we will just examine that here. Now before we do that, I need to show you how to see a face, how to determine if a face is exactly vertical. Now this is the profile view. Okay. Now I will bring this into Photoshop, and I'll tell you exactly how the angle of the nose is. So this is the nose. This is the nose, and please bear with me because I'm multitasking. I'll draw a line right to the base of the nose, and I'll draw a line to the top of the nose. Alright. Now this triangle, I'll just draw a triangle here. From here to here one line, and from here to here another one line like this, and from here to here one more line like this. So this triangle is what I call the base of the nose triangle. This shows you that when a face is vertical, now by vertical, the only vertical part here that lines up vertically is the lips. From here to here is all that will be vertical. The rest, the chin angles backwards slightly, and the rest of the top of the nose angles backwards. So the only part that is vertical is this part, that is from the middle of the nose to the base of the lips. So that should be vertical, and this triangle should be visible only so much. So you will be seeing only so much of the nostrils. If the face is tilting slightly forward, this nostrils becomes a slit, in which case you know that the face is tilted downwards. And if you see the triangle becomes more than 20 degrees or 30 degrees like that, then you know the face is tilted upwards. So this is a very subtle change, and you need to be very observant to catch this. And when you see a subject, a photograph or your subject, look at the nostrils, ask them to show your face sideways and look at the angle of the nose. So different faces have different angles. Let me come back to my collection here. And so this is another one angle of the face. Here too it's pretty much same. And you see in this girl, her angle of the nose is pretty high. It's like 25 degrees. So first see the angle of the nose shape of your portrait, of your subject, and then that will tell you exactly how much nostrils should be visible in the portrait. So now that you understand that, I'll just show you the different collection that I have. I've calculated a set of pictures which show you the nostril position on the base triangle. Now this is pretty vertical. As you can see, the nose triangle is pretty much there, and this is how much you should see of the nostrils. That's all you should be able to see. In this picture, the face is tilted slightly down because you can't see much of the nostrils. So the face is slightly down. In this picture, the nose triangle is pretty big. You can see more of the nostrils, which means the face is tilted slightly upwards. See, now you're getting to the nitty-gritty of portrait drawing. These things many people have not observed, right? We see nose, ears, eyes, and that's about it. But when you come down to it, when you make observations like this is what makes you a better artist. The more you can see, the better you can draw. Now this picture, this girl, the photo, the nose, you can't see the nostrils. They're pretty much closed, not even a slit. So she's looking down, which means the camera is below her eyeline. Okay. So the grid may not work here, so you may ask her to tilt up her face and until you get the proper position, and then use a grid. So this is, here's another on this one. Here the nostrils are okay, pretty vertical, but the face is angled slightly to her right, which means you will see more of the eye widths here will not be correct, but the vertical height will be accurate. Okay, face tilted to the left, but face is held vertical. Now here the nostrils are pretty okay. Her face is vertical. And this should also work here, and this is of course I've shown you, and even here the nostrils are pretty much normal, vertical, and here because the nostrils are only slits, she's looking slightly downwards. So this is how you need to study the face in front of you. Always look at the profile, see the angle of the nose, see how high it is, how low it is. Some noses are all different, eyes are different, lips are different, chins are different, everything is different, but the basic 7x5 grid holds true for everyone. Alright, now we'll just see one of them. Alright. We'll just give me a few moments here, I'll just maximize this. Okay, so here we go. This is the face I want to show. Yeah. I put a guide here. This green line that you're seeing, blue line you can see is exactly the center of the eyes. By center of the eyes, I mean the line that goes to the inner corners of the eyes, not the outer corners. In some faces, the eyes is not slanted upwards. Normally they're slanted slightly, the outer corner of the eyes is slanted slightly above the inner corner. And some eyes are almost horizontal, it depends. Okay, so let's take this face apart now and we will discuss, we'll compare it to the Barrington Barber grid. So here I place a grid, 7x5 grid. So I'll just count it for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 high, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eye widths wide. Okay, so if I measure the width of an eye over here, that's about how much the grid is. So there's one eye here, 0.75 here, 0.75 on the outer edge, and this is one. And here you can see the measurement. There's from the chin to the bottom of the lip is one eye width. From the bottom of the bottom lip to the base of the nose is the second eye width. Then there's a third eye width, and this is the fourth one. Once you get the fourth one, you draw a line in the center of that, you get the center of the eye line. Again, by center of the eye line, I mean the inner corner of the eyes touch the center line. Okay, once you get that, you know that this distance from the base of the chin to the center of the eye line and the center of the eye line to top of the head, the skull, is exactly half. This is half. So once you get this, you need to figure out where see here in this grid, you can see her eyebrows are way above the fourth line. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the fourth line, and the eyebrows are above this. right, almost to the half. So the Barrington Barber sketch is based on a person's head which is angled slightly downward. Now this is exactly vertical, and in an exactly vertical portrait you will see that the eyebrows are above the line number 4. By line number 4 I mean this line. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, this line. Okay. So I'll just open the layers now. This is one eye width from the base of the chin to the bottom of the lip. Then we have eye width number 2 from the base of the bottom lip to the base of the nose. Eye width number 3 from the base of the nose to the middle of the nose somewhere. And eye width number 4 from to the eyebrow, base of the eyebrows basically, and the center line will cut exactly in the center of the eyes. Now what you will notice is, if this is the center of the eye line and this is the corner touches, the outer corner do not touch that line. See, it's slightly above. Can you see it? Slightly above, but the inner corner touches, falls on that line. And below this line there's only about 30% of the eyes. If this is the eye, if this is the eye to here, then the area below this center line is only little. It's only like 20% or 30% of the eyes. So you can, once you get the center line, you can easily mark this just below that line and the rest above that. Okay. And once you do that, I'll just open the next one. See, this is the center line. Alright, from the third grid line to half the fourth grid line is the center line, and the eye center of the eye corner is based on the edge of that, and part of the eyes falls below this line and the rest is above. That's, I would say, about 70-30. 70% of the eyes above that and 30% of the eyes below this. Again, remember, I'm doing this so that we can get a more accurate grid for drawing portraits. So once you get this, what you do is you measure. Once you get the base of the eye, which is slightly less than the eye, let me measure the eye width again. So this is one eye width. This is one eye width. Once you get this line, this base line of the eyes, you keep one eye, you come from here and shift it to this. One eye width, shift it to the base of the eyes. That's over here, and you'll get the top of the eyebrows. This is in line with the discussion we had previously. From the top of the eyebrows to the base of the eyes, from here, a little bit extra for the nose, and then from the base of the lip and from the mouth. So how you draw this is 1, 2, 3, 4, get the eye line, draw the base of the eyes just below this center line, and from there measure one eye width, you'll be the top of the eyebrows. I hope you've been able to follow this. Let me repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, draw the center, get the center eye line, and just below that place the eye, and from there measure again one eye width and you'll get the top of the eyebrows. And like we saw last time, exactly half of this is the height of the eyes. Alright, so you'll get the position of the eyes. In this grid, I call this my grid, you get everything. I mean, I'm just saying it's my grid. You get a more accurate placement of the head. It's not vague. It's not vague like like the 1/3 grid. I'll just show you the 1/3 grid again. See, for example, here in this grid, you don't know the depth of the eyes over here. How below this line is it? Where is the eyebrows exactly? And what's the position of the lips? They say that this position is 2/3 of the distance between the nose and the chin. But it's very difficult to measure all that when you're actually doing the portrait. I mean, you'll be having a subject in front of you, lights will be there, and you have to paint. So this grid, what I'm showing you now, this is more accurate. Alright, I'll just open the half line. So this is the grid that I find the most accurate to show or draw the portrait with. Alright, I hope you understood that. If you have any doubts, please ask your questions below. And once you get this from here, of course the rest is easy. Once you finish the eyebrows above the line, so you have 1, 2, 3, 3.5 eye line, and from the base of the eyes, you go up one more eye width here, you get the top of the eyebrows. Then come back to this grid, and then, so I call this, it's like a Y shape. This grid is like a Y, I call the Y grid. You first use the 7/5 grid to measure everything out, and then you come to the side and measure the base of the eyes to this eyebrow. It's only for the eyebrows and the eyes. Okay, so the grid goes like this and then goes slightly sideways. So you measure the base of the eyes to top of the eyebrows separately. Okay, now let's see if I can give you a demo of how this works. We will first see whether Barrington Baba was accurate in that. She's accurate in most of the things. So here her grid works. As you can see, it is like 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the center you have this is totally off. I think there's a measurement mistake. If you make a mistake in the measurement of the eye width, this is what happens. So this doesn't work. Let's see this one. God, my monitor is full of pencil marks. I need to wash it. So here we have, for me, the most accurate width of the eyes is from the nose, base of the nose to the bottom lip. That almost lines up there. So this is one eye width, 0.75, 0.75. And normally, in many cases, I've seen the chin falling short of that one eye width here at the base. So this is one eye width, 2 eye width, 3, and then you get 4. And the center of that will be the eye line. And when you come here, you measure from the base of the eyes, you get the top. You may need to move the width slightly up and down because sometimes the eyes will be closed. So somewhere there will be the top of the eyebrows. So this works. Now we'll see this one also. Alright, so I'll just zoom in. Right, so here you have one eye width, that is about so much. Base of the chin falls short, and then this one, then one, then this is the fourth line. The center of that fourth line will be here the center line is aligning with the outer corners. I don't think the face is tilted because it's pretty vertical. So these eyes are different. So let me just measure it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the center is, if you can observe, the area in the center line is aligning with the outer corners, not the inner corners. So that's also okay. Different eyes are different angles, and coming from this base of the eyes, you'll get the height of the eyebrows, and exactly half of that is the height of the eyes. This one is exactly half of that. So that's the grid, and I'll show you a demo now. I'll just move to my sketchbook. So this will tell you exactly how to go about it. Okay, so I have drawn a grid that's 7 by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a 7 by 5 grid. I have drawn the center line. This is the center line. You can see it. So this would be the center of the face, vertical center of the face. I mean the horizontal center of the face, and here this will be the first eye like this. So this is the inner corner of the eyes. So just make a mark, draw the eyes like this, maybe slightly above there, and the base of the eyes falls just below this. So this would be the eyes, one eye like this, and on the other side you draw the same thing, draw the base which is about 30% below that line, and from the corner you draw the eyes up like this, and you get the center eye line, the second eye. Now you just draw the pupils. Remember, the pupils on top will be covered, but the base will be almost seen like this. The top is usually covered with the eyelids. Do the same thing on this side. Alright, draw a double line to show the eyelashes. Okay, now we come here and draw the base of the chin. This is the base of the chin, and this is the base of the lips. So I'm just drawing a curve there to show the base of the lips, and this is a triangle of the nose, and that's the base of the nose. Alright, now it's easy. Now you just look at the subject and see the negative space between the base of the nose, so top of the lips, and you draw the upper lip, and the end of this line, edge of this line marks the end of the lips, like that, and draw the same thing, one line like this, which shows the end of the lips on the left hand side, and there you got the lips, and here the nostrils, like this. This grid makes it very easy to draw portraits. All you need to do is practice, 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 and you will be a pro in drawing portraits. The base of the chin, Now how I like to continue here is with draw the cheekbone. Just draw a cheekbone line which shows a cheekbone line over there, and then you get the slant of the chin and the side of the jaw. There you get that. Same thing on this side. That, get that. Now the eyebrows. Now for the eyebrows you need to measure one eye width from here to upwards, and there lies the top of the eyebrow. So I'll just measure one eye width over here and measure it from here, the base of the eyes, and I need to make a mark. Please excuse me while I do it. So this is the top of the eyebrows. Alright, so I'll draw a line there. This is the top of the eyebrows here, and this is the top of the eyebrows over here. Right, so this is line number 4. Remember that. This is line number 4. This is line number 1 to the base of the lips. Line number 2 to the base of the nose. 3 in the middle of the nose, and 4 above the eyes, but below the eyebrows. So the rule in this grid is the fourth line, grid line, is above the eyes but below the eyebrows. So now we draw the angle of the eyes, one here like this, one here like that, and this one like this. So this gives you the angle of the eyebrows. So once you do that, it's pretty easy to draw the eyebrows. So I'll explain about that maybe in another one session. So you just sketch in. So now here the eyebrows is touching the top of the eye line. Now in this view, what I'm showing you now on my mobile phone, it is stretched because the camera is not actually vertical. So that it looks elongated a little bit. Alright, and from here you draw the 1.75. So this is 1 and this is 1.75. So this is the edge of the face over here, and from here the head will reach to the outer edge. So this is 1.75 over here, and you have the whole face over here, and then you draw to the top of the skull. The ears generally fall between the eyebrows. So it should be somewhere here, and to the base of the nose. From top of the eyebrows to the base of the nose is where the ear is. And same thing on this side. Now you can just sketch in the eyebrows. I'm just doing this to show you so you get a clearer picture of what I'm doing. This is the eyes. Note that I have tilted my pencil, and we'll make some marks for the eyelashes. Same thing for the top of the eyes, and same thing on this side. Alright, and then we draw the shadow a little bit of the nose. Base of the nose, I put it in shadow. And something over here, some shadow work over here. And we'll shadow in the lips, base of the lips. Draw some marks. And base of the chin. The neck usually is at the end of the eyes, so this is where the neck would be, on this line. There you are. Now I'll hold it vertical so you can see the actual proportion of this. So this is the face, and this is the 7x5 grid. My only input in this session is that the eyebrows will remain above line number 4. If this is the only thing you take away from the series, you will be a master of portrait drawing. So just remember that, and also remember to watch the angle of the nostrils. So these two things are very important. Alright, so this grid, this 7x5 grid, is the most accurate one to draw portraits, and you can, once you practice this, you'll be able to adapt it to any angle of the face in perspective, as well as you use a cube to define the face, the 7 grid lines, and you can sketch the face from different angles. So guys, this is it for this session, and I'll be back with more videos soon. So you guys take care, and I'll see you in the next. Bye bye.